All right, guys, thanks for being back with us. This is the Alex Helton Real Estate Show, brought to you by the Helton Real Estate Group here in Nashville. I am Alex Helton. That's a lot of Heltons. Here with my good friend and our Director of Operations, Sam Dahl.
What's up, Alex?
What's up, man? Personal question. Some of these folks don't care, but I care. What is your favorite? What's your favorite holiday between now and the end of the year?
Ooh,
And can include New Year's.
Worth noting, unplanned questions. I'm hearing that for the first time. So since I haven't had time to think about it. Let's see here.
Gut.
I feel like the obvious options would be Halloween, Thanksgiving, Christmas. As far as things people celebrate, it's not Halloween. That would definitely be third for me. Probably go Thanksgiving.
Okay.
Mainly, like, our family never had a big Christmas food tradition.
Okay.
But Thanksgiving, that was like, everything gets rolled out.
Gotcha.
So
for you, it's tradition.
Who doesn't like getting some presents? But probably Thanksgiving. That's the more sentimental holiday for me. How about you?
So Thanksgiving is your holiday. I'll have to remember that. Maybe get you a honey baked turkey or something. Christmas for sure.
Okay.
The whole thing is just completely nostalgic for me.
Okay.
I'm like floating around like a 8-year-old kid all the entire month of December.
Wow. Okay, so probably the most important question follow-up for that is, when is it appropriate to start listening to Christmas music? We're middle September right now.
Man, a lot of people are like, day after Thanksgiving, that's lame. Like, you got to back it up.
Day after
Halloween.
Okay, so all November, December.
Yeah.
You're like, what even is Thanksgiving?
Yeah.
I'm thankful for Christmas.
Exactly.
Okay. All right, interesting. Well, maybe we should intro an episode, first episode of November, intro it with some Christmas music.
I like it.
Awesome. Well,
Are we
Alex,
doing a podcast?
I think so.
Let's do it.
Okay. Market for August is what we're talking about today.
Yeah.
Some interesting things. I heard you say, I think this is good news.
Yeah.
And I'm curious to know why and what is good news. But first, maybe give us kind of a rundown of the numbers, especially for people that are listening, so they're not seeing the board.
Yeah.
Quick overview of what's actually going on in the market, stat-wise, and then we'll jump into some implications and some good news.
What are we doing? I'm summarizing first.
Give us a summary of what's on the board.
Plateau.
Okay. So we've been climbing. Honestly, years in a sense.
Like a decade.
And now we've kind of plateaued.
Yeah.
Which is different than going down.
Much different.
All right. So we've plateaued. Anything else noteworthy up here overall as far as
plateau is normal.
Okay.
Plateau is pretty normal.
Normal based on what? Give me the concept.
So historical appreciation over a 30-year period, 20-year period might be a 4% average. Okay. So when you have crazy growth and then you plateau, that's really good. We don't see even the market crash in, call it 7 to 9, 2007, 2009. That was even unique to see prices drop in during a recession. Mm-hmm. Historically, prices don't take big dips during recessions. Mm-hmm. So
like 1% to 2%, which when you do the math on that, it's like, can you even calculate it almost?
Yeah. So you certainly don't know in that environment. You don't notice it in terms of what your home sells for, but it does feel different, right? Mm-hmm. And that's what I think the good news is. If are we going into the good news?
I'm always ready for good news.
All right,
let's start there.
So it goes into the good news, and that is that right now feels different than the last 2 years have. So you'll have to wait for the good news while we go over the market. But things feel different now than they have over the last 2.5 years, two years for sure. All right, so Davidson County, closings are down in Davidson and Williamson County in August. That's just the month of August compared to last August. call it 25% average. Median price is up 60% in Davidson. It's up 13% in Williamson. Year to date, closings are down 14 and 13%. Median price in Davidson County is up 21%. Median price in Williamson County is up 27%. So year to date, 2022, transactions are down. Median price is up. Now let's go to the good news. This is good news in my opinion. So two things. Number one, as we look at inventory, you'll see that inventory has got up under 1 million in Davidson County. All right, it's slight, but it's gone up. That's good. We want that. We need that. We need more inventory. Interestingly, over 1 million in Davidson County. Again, it's not like a significant drop, but it's actually gone down. So I interpret that. My interpretation, we've been watching very closely since interest rates have changed year to date to say, what is that going to do to transactions? What's that going to do to inventory? And the fact that the higher end of the market that is typically more sensitive to is just typically more price sensitive. The fact that inventory over 1 million is actually down in Davidson County says to me that we're not in a free fall. I remember hearing Gary Keller, this was recently, hearing Gary Keller talk about in times where the economy is receding a little bit and you might get a market where prices are going down some, it feels like a free fall, but it's not. So the fact that I'm seeing this where inventory over 1 million in Davidson County is actually going down, the last 2 months, it hasn't felt like a free fall, but it sort of has. You got all this news and
Really
everything.
Really uncertain.
It's kind of like, what's going on? And so the fact that this is down tells me, well, that definitely wasn't the beginning of a free fall. Free falls don't even happen. So hopefully that makes sense.
What I think,
I like seeing that.
yeah. So like you said, the higher price point usually, if we're headed toward a buyer's market, if that's going to become more buyer favorable first.
Yeah.
And the fact that we're kind of, like you said, plateau earlier, we're kind of holding steady probably means the other price points are going to be holding steady for a while.
Yeah.
And until those start to creep closer to 6, we're probably not going to see a whole lot of creep in the lower price points.
Yeah.
So that's good news. Who's that good news for?
So as I was just thinking about that, I think it's good news for buyers and sellers and the market overall. Because what's not good for anybody is these drastic spikes up or these drastic drops down. Because when things feel like they're going down, everybody just freezes and they try to become investors and they want to ask the question of like, how do I time the market at the bottom?
Yeah.
And the truth is you can't.
Yeah.
When you think you have, it's already started to go back up. So our advice typically, it's obviously going to be case dependent, but it's make a long-term decision. Am I going to be in this home for 5, 7, 10 years? So anyway, so that's good news to me. The other thing is it's not on the board, but we've been looking at the numbers and we've been talking off camera about just over the last couple of months. We've been looking at what has the median price in these areas been in these same months in 19, 20, 21, and now in 22. And to see that the median price does fluctuate, there's not some big interpretation on a month to month. So I think what we'll start doing going forward is looking at median price on a quarterly basis and comparing like Q1, 2, 3, 4. So that was also good news. So those are the two pieces of good news, is that it's not in a free fall. If I am a seller, it's good. This is good news for me. If I'm a buyer,
got a little breathing room if you're looking
Under a million, yes, and even at over a million, like this is much higher than it was 3 months ago.
Mm-hmm.
And if I'm a seller, this is encouraging. Again, I'm using the term plateau, but if that's the case, I think that is just, I think there's opportunities for both buyers and sellers in this kind of market. So,
yeah.
And then looking at inventory in Williamson County, it's down, under 500. This is just a tough, you got a median price of 825. This is no matter the market, Williamson County, Brentwood, Franklin. This includes all of Williamson County, but anything in Brentwood, Franklin, it's just, there's not many homes under 500 anyway. 500 to a million is up, just essentially plateau, but a touch. And then over a million in Williamson County is slightly down. So that's it. I would say the summary is things have plateaued. Why is that? 2 reasons. Number one, the median price is doing a little bit of a give and a take throughout the summer. And I think that'll continue as we head into the fall. And even in Davidson County, the more price sensitive homes are selling faster than the other ones over the last 30 days. So,
So buyers that are saying right now, I'm waiting. They feel the market softening. Like you said, it feels different. It doesn't feel like we're in this frantic, almost panicked market where everyone's just throwing cash around. It feels different.
Yeah.
I've talked to a lot of people who translate that to prices are falling and I'm just going to let it free fall. And then when it hits the bottom, I'll be there waiting for it. What I hear you saying is probably don't count on it. Don't count on it for sure. And
definitely don't count on it. But here's what I would say is that I understand that emotional. I do think it is an emotional reasoning. It's not a logical looking at the numbers, looking at history during recessions, and the fact that free falls I don't think that's a thing. Even in 07, 09, you're looking at a 20% reduction. And that's an environment where banks were literally giving money for more than the home was worth to people that could show zero, like you could not validate their income and credit worthiness whatsoever.
yeah.
And that's just one example of all kinds of behaviors that were just insane.
There was an agent that we heard from recently talking about this who said, I got my license. I had never sold a home and I didn't have a job. And the bank was like, sure, we'll give you a $500,000 loan.
Yeah, well,
like, no track record, no reason to think she'll succeed.
Sense.
She's successful now, but just to kind of illustrate, banks are just like, who can I give money to?
Right.
So
crazy. So this is a totally different environment. I don't think, just a totally different environment. So I understand how those people would feel that way. And if I had the information that they did, I'd probably feel the same way. But I had different information and here's what's going on. And I think for somebody that wants to buy a home, now is as good a time as ever. If you have a long-term view, here's the other thing. People are going to have to think differently, right? We're going to have to go back to pre-pandemic style appreciation market to where people go, buy for a 5-year plus period. You don't buy to sell in 12 months so that you can make $200,000.
basically everybody became a flipper without finding a deal or doing work. It's like buying a house and selling a year later is the best way to make a quick buck. Doesn't matter what the house is.
Yeah.
We're not there anymore.
Yeah. I know of people that, and good for them, they got a home under contract, new construction. Took, I don't know how long it took to build, let's just say 10 months, but it appreciated such that they just decided not to move into it, stay where they were, sell the home.
As a new home.
As a new home, and they pocketed the profit. So.
Pretty smart.
Very smart.
Market of the moment, they took advantage of it.
They took advantage of it. And so that was the opportunity in that market. The opportunity in this market is different, and we have to think differently. than we have over the last 2 years, which is a good thing.
Yeah.
So, anything else?
I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I mean, we've said this before. We're not in a panic situation. If you're selling, you don't have to panic and sell because your home's going to be worth dramatically less in 3 to 6 months, most likely.
Yeah.
If you're buying, there's no reason to wait on the market. The market isn't saying you should wait. Personally, it may make sense to wait for buying or selling, but the market isn't a factor that should dictate the decision, really.
Yeah.
What I'm hearing you say.
Yep. It reminds me of one last thought, and then we'll wrap it up. And that is, I'm asking everybody that I am talking to that's in the real estate industry, whether they're investor, agent, appraiser, whatever, bankers, and I'm going, hey, if you had $1 million home today, what's it worth in 12 months? And obviously this isn't like scientific, but the general sense that I'm getting is if I had to put a range on it, it's $1.05 million. So what is that? 5% appreciation seems to be the general consensus. So anyways, that's a wrap.
It's all right.
All right. Appreciate you guys being with us. As always, if you have any questions about buying, selling, investing in real estate, or just if you don't have any of those plans and you want to chat about how to make the most out of, get the most out of your home, we're always here. So reach out wherever you're seeing this, and appreciate you watching. We'll see you next time.